Are you confused about hair oils and how to properly incorporate them in your naturally curly hair routine? Well, today I'm going to share with you everything you need to know about oils, the different types of oils, how to pick the right one for your curl type, and how to properly incorporate it in your routine for maximum benefits. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Gina and I make videos all about naturally curly hair. I love talking about the science of hair, talking about product ingredients, and really breaking things down for beginners so that everyone can achieve healthy hair. I'm so excited to be partnering up with Curlsmith, one of my favorite curly hair brands, to bring you their new bonding oil, which is their newest product as part of the Strength recipe line that helps repair damaged hair and strengthen the hair. This is a lightweight oil for shiny, stronger looking hair. So I'm going to share with you my honest opinions on this, show you how I use it on my hair, and we'll talk about the product ingredients and if it's right for you. So first, let's talk about what is the purpose of a hair oil. Well, oils are meant to help soften and condition the hair. They actually don't hydrate the hair. They're not going to add moisture into your hair. However, some of them do actually penetrate into the hair and some sit on the surface, and we'll talk about the differences between penetrating and sealing oils in just a moment. Oils also help provide slip. They add shine to the hair, make it feel more manageable. They can help improve the feeling and the texture of your hair. They can also help to tame a little bit of frizz, but they're not going to completely seal frizz and prevent frizz altogether, but they can help tame some flyaways if you use them as a finisher. Oils are not intended to be used as a styling product. You cannot just apply oil to your curls and expect that to hold your curls or to prevent frizz or to moisturize your hair. You have to properly hydrate your hair with water and curl creams and leave-ins, and then seal in that moisture once you're done styling with an oil. You cannot use an oil by itself and expect it to style your curls and to prevent frizz. So when do you use an oil then? Well, one of the first ways that I like to use an oil in my routine is as a pre-poo treatment. A pre-poo treatment basically just means a product that you apply to your hair before you shampoo onto usually dry hair, or you could apply something on wet hair. But for oil, I usually apply it to dry hair, and then I like to dry detangle, which might sound weird, but it's definitely very beneficial if you have very damaged hair or hair that is prone to breakage. You can learn more about the benefits of dry detangling in my video that I have. I will link it for you down below. But by adding oil to the hair as you were dry detangling, that helps provide more slip so you can more easily detangle, and it helps prevent breakage. Using a pre-poo oil can also help prevent your hair from getting stripped during the shampooing process. It sort of acts like a barrier to prevent the shampoo from completely stripping out all of the moisture in your hair, so it helps to protect your hair as you're shampooing. You can also add your oils to your deep conditioning mask if you want to really amp up the penetration of those masks, if you're using a oil that does soak into the hair and penetrate into the hair. And then you also use oils at the end of your styling routine, which is what I'm going to show you how to do. You can use oil on your palms to help scrunch out the crunch that is in your hair. So after you finish completely drying your hair is totally dry and you have that gel cast or that crunchy feeling in your hair, an oil can really help to soften that quicker as opposed to just using dry hands to scrunch out the crunch. This will also add some shine and maybe even tame a little bit of frizz as you were scrunching out the crunch and softening up that gel cast. And they're also used to add a shine to the hair. So if you want to use a serum or an oil to finish off your style, if it's looking a little dull, then oils can definitely do that. So there are three types of oil products that you might see. The first one are natural oils. So these are just pure oils that you could order, like plain castor oil or avocado oil. The plain oil in its natural state. They don't always provide that much shine just by themselves as opposed to a serum product or a hair oil that's formulated with lots of different oils. And some natural oils might not penetrate and soak into the hair, so they could weigh down your hair. Whereas when they are incorporated into a serum product, then they usually are a lot more lightweight and they have been formulated to soak into your hair somewhat instead of just sitting on the surface and feeling greasy. The next type of oil is a bonding oil, which is actually like the Curlsmith one we're going to talk about. These have added benefits that actually help repair damaged hair. So they're not going to completely fix or mend split ends or anything like that, but it can help fill in the gaps in your hair's cuticle to help lock in moisture that is in your hair and keep that hydration in there to prevent your hair from getting dehydrated, which in turn also strengthens the hair and helps repair those broken bonds. Then there are silicone-based oils or serums. These can build up on the hair over time if you're not properly clarifying, and they can also weigh down the hair if you have very fine hair. However, they do usually provide humidity protection by actually waterproofing the hair or blocking out that humidity. Some people though might find that their hair feels drier with using a lot of serums and getting that buildup of silicone on their hair because it could be blocking that moisture from getting into your hair if you're not properly clarifying. So now let's talk about the differences between penetrating and sealing oils. There's actually a variety of different oils, and there's some that fall in between. A penetrating oil is an oil that is small enough to actually penetrate into the hair. So it is absorbed by the hair. It can actually go through the outer layers of the hair, and it can also be absorbed very easily and evaporate. So you're not necessarily going to feel it on your hair after you apply it. Sealing oils, on the other hand, do sit on the surface. They don't penetrate into the inner layers. So sometimes you can feel those on the hair, or they could weigh down the hair if you were to use too much or if you have very fine or low density hair. Sealing oils can help provide a protective barrier on the hair and help block out humidity. And then there are oils that actually fall in between a penetrating and a sealing oil, which actually have a lot of benefits for the hair because they don't just sit on the surface and build up or weigh down the hair, but on the other hand, they can help seal and protect. The Curlsmith Bonding Oil is one that actually contains some oils that fall in between penetrating and sealing oils, so it can be absorbed into the hair, but it can also add shine and seal and moisture. So this one contains castor oil, which is an oil that does fall in between penetrating and sealing. It absorbs somewhat onto the hair, and if it's formulated in the right way into a product like this, it won't weigh down the hair. This also contains sea buckthorn oil, apricot kernel oil, olive and shea oil, and vegan keratin, which is actually the strengthening ingredient that is in this bonding oil. So this oil not only can be used to add shine and soften the hair and protect the hair, but it's also going to help to improve the health of your hair by repairing damage. So I love an oil that can do more than just improve the appearance of your hair. It can actually help strengthen the hair. I'm so excited to see that Curlsmith released an oil because I don't think they had an oil yet in their lineup. They had a treatment serum, which is more of like a solid oil, but this is their only oil product so far. This is actually what the box looks like here. It's actually pretty fancy packaging. I'm loving this gold packaging that it has. A lot of product here. You get 2 ounces, which this I feel like would last forever. You only need a tiny bit when you apply it. It says this is a unique, super lightweight oil blend suitable for all hair types. It helps soften crunchy hair, reinforces the hair bonds, absorbs instantly, is non-greasy, seals the cuticles, locks in moisture, smooths split ends, and reduces signs of damage. So all that sounds amazing. This is also not going to be too strong in proteins or anything like that. This is not going to give you protein overload. So this is especially going to be very beneficial if you do have high porosity or damaged hair. Especially if you are transitioning and you're in that stage where your hair is still pretty damaged. The strength recipe is a great option for that, and this one is definitely a good addition to be able to use at the end of your routine to seal everything in. So now let's get into how I like to use this in my routine. So here I'm starting off with hair that is completely dry and it's already been styled and I still have the gel cast in. You want to make sure your hair is completely dry before scrunching out the crunch to prevent frizz from forming. So you can see it's pretty stiff and crispy feeling, but we're going to use this oil to help break all of that up and help add volume. You can see how flat my hair looks. It's super defined though. But it's definitely pretty flat to my head and lacking volume and doesn't have much volume at the root either. So then I'm taking the Curlsmith Bonding Oil and applying a few drops to my palm, and you can see it has this yellow, very liquidy consistency. It's very thin. So I'm just gonna rub that in between my palms and then apply it to my hair. When I apply an oil to my hair, I like to just smooth the hair down. I don't want to cause too much frizz, so I'm just making sure I'm evenly applying it by smoothing over the canopy of my hair. Then I'm going to use what is left on my palms to then scrunch the hair. This is really going to break up your gel cast. This is also why you want to make sure your hair is completely dry, because you don't want to be breaking up that cast while there's still moisture in there. That can cause some frizz to poke through, especially from the underside layer. So then I'm just going around and scrunching out all of the cast in my hair. You can leave some of it in if you want your style to last longer and you don't want to get frizz or anything in humidity. I would recommend leaving in a little bit of the cast. Then I'm just taking my fingers and going underneath my hair and shaking out the roots. This really helps give root volume. It helps lift the hair up off of the scalp because sometimes it can get stuck down during styling. So we want to make sure it's nice and lifted and not pressed against the scalp. You can also flip your head over and really shake out those roots and scrunch from underneath. And here's my after results. You can see how much more body that I have. Just look at that before and after. It is crazy what scrunching out the cast can do. It definitely makes a big difference. It also really softens the hair and adds shine. I have so much more shine to my hair, which just really accentuates the curl clumps and ringlets. And I love how much fuller my hair gets when I use this product and when I do scrunch out the crunch, because if I have too many defined curl clumps with my low density hair, it can make my hair look very thin. So this definitely helps to just make it look fuller on the inside layers of the hair, so it looks like my hair is a lot bigger than it is. So when it comes to choosing which oil is right for your hair type, if you have very fine hair, then you want to make sure that you're using oils that are not too sealing or too heavy. You want to go with oils that can penetrate more into the hair and are not just going to sit on the surface and weigh down the hair. Those are going to be your more lightweight oils. You can also use some oils that fall in between that are both sealing and penetrating. If you have very coarse hair, that is hair that might feel rough and bumpy, you might have kinks in the hair. I definitely have a whole section of my hair that has a lot of these very kinky, like coarse feeling hairs. Sealing oils can really help coarse hair types just feel softer and more manageable and help prevent tangles. I know my coarse areas of my hair are very tangly, and I tend to get a lot of those single strand knots because those hairs are kind of bumpy feeling and they kind of change direction, so they have some kinks in them. And so sealing oils like jojoba, or even some of the ones that are a blend of penetrating and sealing like castor oil, can really benefit the hair and help provide that slip and manageability. There's no really set rules. You can definitely use any of the oils for your hair type. I would just keep in mind like avoiding those super heavy ones if you have fine hair. But if you have coarse, thick hair, you can probably use just a variety of all different types of oils. And if you're still confused about the differences between penetrating and sealing oils and which ones are right for your hair type, I will put together a chart on the blog that goes with this video. That will be linked in the description box down below, so you can refer to that if you want to see which oils out of your products that you have are sealing or penetrating. I'll also link you to the Sciencey Hair Blog's article on this because I love referring to her blog. She's a scientist and a blogger that always has really great information about hair science. So she has a really amazing chart as well that goes into detail about penetrating and the sealing oils and the weight of them and so many different things. So if you are interested in checking out the Curlsmith Bonding Oil, you can use my coupon code if you want to save 10% on your first Curlsmith order. I will have that coupon down below. I also have a routine that I did for damaged hair and transitioning hair. If you want to see a full wash day routine incorporating some of the Strength Recipe products, I will link that for you in the description box down below as well. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and I will talk to you in next week's video. Bye everyone.